For which I would like to invite Mr. Phillip Samuel Babu.S, SAP India, Head Higher Education Skilling, India and Subcontinent. Ladies and gentlemen, please give him a warm welcome on the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, organizers, for this opportunity. As they introduced me, I'm from SAP. I don't know how many of you have heard about our company. Any volunteer? How many of you know SAP? Good. Okay. Thank you. So I'll just, in this few seconds, few minutes of the presentation, in the keynote session, what we wanted to cover was some of the key things what we do and what is required in the higher education space and how SAP is contributing towards making that happen. Primarily, our focus is towards creating employability, offering industry-relevant programs, which is relevant today and how it is. So this particular slide talks about the impact in the workforce, right? So one of the key areas as an educationist and the leaders who are sitting here is that you would always definitely want to embrace technology which is coming new. And obviously, if you are able to, train your students and empower them before they graduate on the latest technologies and latest curriculums, that becomes an easier, said and done to get them employable. Otherwise, what happens is many of the times we end up training a lot of things and skills which does not land into a proper employment. When we know there is a problem, when we know there is a solution, it's best to adopt. And this kind of conclaves give a big platform for us. Now, if you look at here, the impact in the workforce are happening in the 4 segment of areas. One is analytics, decision, every organizations today, every individuals today, everything is, decisions are based on, the data what you have. It is always best to take decision based on data. Of course, experience plays an important role, past experience plays a role, but analytics is something which data-driven decisions are making more, foolproof, more stronger thing. And today analytics has entered into a lot of things. For example, if you talk about analytics in medical, right? Today, the maximum, healthcare advices by the doctors are given when they have the reports with them. That is always the best. Of course, the doctor has been consulting for years, and he knows what is the symptoms gives them an idea, but the actual report, because every individual is different, that report gives a lot of information. So their place in analytics. So analytics has entered into every space, and it becomes a very important tool. There are a lot of good marketing leading tools which are there. If our students are able to train and create dashboards and use this, employability becomes easy. The other one is the AI. We are hearing about it. SAP as an organizer, we also embraced into it. AI is there, is there to stay for a few years. It will create a good amount of opportunities in the market. If we are able to encash the students who are graduating, who are coming out of it on the AI space, definitely there's a lot of things we can resolve. Then comes the function and the networked application collaboratives. There are a lot of things which are happening, which is, the industry's expectations are in the collaborative front of it. I'll not go in detail about it. Just this particular slide gives you a background about what an industry, you take about any of the verticals, talk about a services company, manufacturing company, or a IT company, the most ideal expectation of a fresher comes in this kind of aspect which is there. Every university, the students which are coming, the industry is expecting nowadays to have the student to have a technology knowledge, which is default. Next come is business application. There are a lot of business application, leader applications which are there, with some amount of knowledge is what they need to know. Because today, gone are the days where we used to teach a lot of theoretical books concept which the student was learning, but it has moved a little bit front now, and that is where, if you look at the NEP is all talking about, right? Then we are talking about domain knowledge. If there is a management student, if there is an engineering student, the domain knowledge plays a very, very important this one. Then comes the job ready skills. One is the knowledge point of it, and having a job-ready skills is very, very important. That also is important. Even if you are able to create this job-ready skills before they graduate, and then place them, it makes sense. Rather than graduating and then realizing that the student, most of the students and the parents ask is that when the skill is missing, why don't you train them in early so that before they graduate, they are fit for the industry and moves on. Now this particular slide is a common thing from most of the industries coming. We're just sharing it for you. It is not from our company, but any of the organizations, if you look at, an ideal flusher is what they are looking at like this. And of course, the last thing, which is innovative and creative mindset. The youngsters who are coming, because a lot of times the mind block, their thinking ability is something which is never explored by institutions. We never coach them for it, right? Somebody, sir, was saying in the morning, Ravi Shankar, sir, how China has evolved it himself in a big way in a skill space of it. They're training them in the high school, because they are able to bring them a mentality of thinking, innovative thinking, creative thinking, and adaptability. Because sustainability today is adaptability. If they're not able to do that, then it becomes a bigger challenge and things like. So these are some of the factors which are the ideal freshers we are talking about. Now this particular thing is more in deep into a stakeholder point of view. We have three stakeholders in the higher education as far as concerned. First is the industry point of view, if you look at, and they are the people who take your students to the industry, right? For them, it is a very simple two aspects they are looking at. Cost to competency, time to competency. I'll explain you what it is. A cost to competency is basically, there used to be days when, companies used to come and recruit your students, take them to the companies, train them for a few months, okay? There is a lot of money and time being spent. Today, with the kind of supply which is coming in across India from engineering, management background, so much of millions of students coming in, nobody has got this time and money to spend. So the industry's expectation on the industry is that very clear, if you are able to give your student with time and cost to competency becoming zero, then employability situation can definitely be eradicated. And this is the fact. You can go and check with any of the industries which we are talking about. For a student point of view, as is one of a key stakeholder, most of the time we forget the student as a key stakeholder, because for him, he is coming to spend that additional money with his higher education. Parents harden money used to get the ROI, right? How do I differentiate in 1 in million? That is this very important part of it. And then what he wants is, every student wants is a global career. Point is, when we say job is career, everybody is seeking today. I'll give you an example. I met some B school somewhere, some students, we were having an interaction, and this person was particularly already placed. So his complaint was that I have done my MBA and I'm gone to sell in BFSI in credit card. So his point is that even if I am not an MBA graduate, if I have done some graduation, I would have still got this credit card BFSI sales to do it. I don't have to be a specialized degree guy and still not get a job, because today it is not about creating a job, it is about creating a career. The difference is that when you place them in a good career, they're starting to their retirement, things becomes more stronger. And you need to choose industries and jobs which will definitely take them to the right career point of view. This is as far as the student is concerned. And in academia, today we are talking about government, we have never heard of, today we are talking about new education policy. The simple tagline of a new education policy is that they expect that, industry relevant curriculum, industry embedded programs come into it. Lot of corporates, lot of OEMs have already bought this curriculum inside the university, and there are a lot of top universities in the country which has adopted and getting benefit out of it. There is one university in South which will say that I did a Limca record of 1,500 placement in a single day. There is another university in the same South which would have said we have not crossed 10. There is something which is missing, and that missing part is that, we are not being able to create the student become more effective and more industry relevant and industry required kind of professional. So if you are able to embrace, the most important thing is any industry can come with innovative things, whatever you are hearing from morning. As an academician, if you are not embracing that, if you are not helping us to come to you and adopt it, it will never take off. It is an association, it is a marriage which is very important to happen. So any industry embedded things can only take off once we have the academics leaders thought leaders like you all who will be able to bring it inside and do a proper, and most important thing, any idea, any new thing has to have an adoption. It is not about selling or it's not about signing. The adoption plays a very, very important. So this is some of the stakeholder part of it which we wanted to give you a brief about. One of the solution, whatever we spoke in the past few slides, is that making sure that you make this to run, make the student seriousness, put it in curriculum. Not only our SAP we are talking about, anything which is there, try and make the student feel that to graduate you need to do so much kind of minor credit or major credits or an industry embedded programs. Otherwise this is going to be a create an issues. So I'll quickly run, my time is getting up. So this is a little bit about our organization. As SAP, we are a 50-year-old company, an enterprise cloud company, world leaders in enterprise. We have close to 4 lakh plus 5 lakh customers, which is all around the world. You talk about the top, companies like what you see some logos here, or use this SAP R system, which is an enterprise software, cloud technologies, analytics, AI, to run their business on day-to-day basis. What we are talking about is training your students inside your campus while they graduate, and make them SAP certified on this technologies of SAP, where we will be able to get this kind of companies in your campus recruitment. We've been running this in a lot of top universities in the country, which has been benefited, and our core expertise is to make student and SAP certified and get them placed in these companies which we are talking about, and we have done it very successfully. We have a session, a break session in the 345 in the 4th floor. We'll talk more about it, what is this program, what is SAP offering into university. As per the NEP, we have a curriculum. Just to give you a small brief, on a BTech degree program, we have changed it in such a way that first 3 years, we offer SAP as a part of a credit-based program for 60 hours. The 4th year is a complete internship model where the student goes to industry and start working in the industry with a paid internship. Okay, so this is the graduate program I'm talking about, which we have introduced as per NEP. Now, industries embedded is very much live. There are universities which I showed you, which have already adopted this kind of program, and we'll be glad to meet you all in one-on-one, and the session which is happening at 345 at the 4th floor, we can talk more about it. Thank you for the time.
Thank you very much, sir. To felicitate Mr. Phillip, I would like to invite Dr. D.B. Singh, Vice Chancellor, Haridwar University, Roorkee, on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause?